The Huawei Mate 10 Pro is probably one of the more controversial phones of 2018, but not because of the phone itself. 2018 started badly for Huawei when, just days, maybe even hours, before its proud announcement, AT&T pulled out from its partnership with the Chinese company, reportedly due to political pressure. That hasn't stopped Huawei from offering the phone in the US, albeit without carrier perks and strings, with pre-orders starting this week. And for those who want to get their hands on this flagship, Jerry-Rig Everything has just proved it to be one of the most durable phones of 2018. Granted, it's actually the first phone he tested in 2018, which isn't surprising since we don't expect this year's stars until a few months from now. He did already test the Huawei Mate 10 last year, but not all phones, even from the same OEM from the same generation, are created equal. Fortunately, these two are. The screen tests these days have become a bit boring. Never mind the practically useless burn test, even scratch tests have become rote with everyone using Gorilla Glass protection. Everyone except those with shatterproof but not scratch-proof screens, that is. And with more phones sporting glass backs, that's pretty much the same story on the rear side as well. Except for the plastic covering on the fingerprint sensor. Fortunately, that still works even after having been severely scratched, unlike some other high-end phones. The bend test is probably the most important part of Jerry-Rig Everything's durability show. And here, the Huawei Mate 10 Pro passes with flying colors. No flex or bend from either front or back. It would be interesting to see how it is on a drop test, but, with few exceptions, he doesn't exactly do those. For his first smartphone durability test of 2018, Zach from YouTube channel Jerry-Rig Everything chose the Huawei Mate 10 Pro as the subject. Now that the handset is up for pre-order in the US, more people may like to know how well it fares in this pretty standard challenge. It turns out that it doesn't disappoint. Its screen scratches exactly when you'd expect, and manages to withstand an open flame for a whopping 40 seconds without any damage, matching Samsung's Galaxy S8 in this regard. Unfortunately though, because the Mate 10 Pro uses an OLED touchscreen, its pixels don't recover once you've stopped applying the flame, unlike some LCDs. In the very important bend test, the Mate 10 Pro survives with flying colors. It doesn't flex almost at all, whether bent from the front or the back. No damage is being done to the glass screen or the glass rear panel, and there isn't even a crinkle near the metal power button. Both the front camera and the Huawei logo on that side of the phone are under the glass and thus can't be easily scratched. But while the rear cameras both sit behind glass, the fingerprint scanner has a plastic coating that can get easily marked with a razor blade. On the flip side, it reads fingerprints with no issue even with heavy damage. The Huawei Mate 10 Pro has a lot going for it. In addition to a slick, premium design, the screen packs vibrant, OLED technology with an 18:9 aspect ratio, similar to that found on the Google Pixel 2 XL and iPhone X. Huawei's Mate 10 Pro also has a dual-camera setup reminiscent of the excellent iPhone 8 Plus and Galaxy Note 8. It's even loaded up with Android 8, the latest version of Google's operating system, out of the box, meaning you get the operating system's latest security features and UI highlights, such as picture-in-picture viewing. When its specs are laid out alongside the rest of the flagship competition, the Huawei Mate 10 Pro even wins out in some key areas. For starters, it offers more storage, -128GB as standard versus 64GB on other flagships. It also has a beefier battery than the competition, a huge 4,000 mAh, compared with 3,300 mAh in the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 and under 2,691 mAh in the iPhone 8 Plus. The Mate 10 Pro even has an IR blaster for some added nostalgia factor, meaning it can double up as a TV remote control for those times you're trying to spook your mates in the pub, or simply can't find your own. Even on paper though, this phone isn't perfect. The screen isn't the sharpest at 1080 by 2160, putting it below the crystal clear 2K and even 4K displays on competing smartphones like the Sony's Xperia XC Premium. It also has no headphone jack, or microSD card slot, so you'll need to use a dongle for your wired headphones and guarantee that ample internal storage is enough to last you the entire life cycle of the phone. Emotion UI, or MIUI 8.0, is Huawei's custom interface that sits on top of the latest version of Android, Android 8, also known as Oreo. Off the bat, this puts the Mate 10 Pro at an advantage over most of the Android 7 latent competition. This means in addition to all the applications accessible through the Google Play Store, the Mate 10 Pro features the latest security patches and UI features, from full bleed notification bar widgets showcasing things like Spotify album art beautifully, through to picture-in-picture viewing for compatible video apps. Huawei supplements Google's experience heavily. For starters, by default there is no app tray. If you want to turn this on, you have to dive into the settings and activate it. The remainder of the core UI remains the same as that found on stock Android, a variable number of home screens, a Google screen to the left and a notifications tray that can be pulled down from the top, but delve a little bit deeper and there's a lot more going on here. Given the fact at no point in the review has there been a groan or moan about speed issues, you'll likely be unsurprised to find out that the shiny new Kirin 970 chipset paired with 6GB of RAM smashes through tasks like a champ in both real-world use and benchmarks. That said, one thing we've refrained from harping on about until now is AI. This buzz term has been central to Huawei's marketing of the Mate 10 series and indeed, its new Kirin 970 chip, but the fact of the matter is, nothing about using the Mate 10 Pro day in day out reflects this AI marketing line. With an Antutu score of 177,423 and a Geekbench score of 6,630, it's at the top of the pile, but doesn't quite tip Apple to pole position. If indeed this AI aspect will become evident, it won't be within a week of using the phone. It will be 6 months to a year down the line, with Huawei claiming that the Mate 10 series won't slow down like other devices.